Hey, what's up? Welcome to the show. Feeling good with Duddy. That's me. Let's go. All right, what's happening? Feeling good with Duddy. As always, I'm joined here with my brother and my co-host, Mr. Stank Bushnell. Hello. And today, we have the honor of being blessed with my good friend and manager, Mr. Mike Brown, a.k.a. Cheez. What's up?
Hola. That's Spanish. That's how the Spaniards say hello.
He just got back from Cabo.
Just got back from Cabo, yeah.
And what do you think you brought back?
For sure some STDs, and there was just a fly flying around in here that could have come out of my pants as well.
That's disgusting. Okay, so Cheez. I got to get this out of the way because I'm going to be saying that word a lot on this episode. And for the fans or people listening, how did you get your name?
Short version is I was out on a high school field trip, and I got hit by a Frito-Lay truck while I was trying to retrieve a baseball cap from the freeway. But it was in bumper-to-bumper traffic. It wasn't bad, and it skimmed me. But all my friends started calling me that as a joke. Cheese boy. Next thing you know, I started going with it, and then when I was a hustler and I was writing at Hustler, I went by Cheese Boy and played in bands, went by Cheese Boy, and next thing you know.
That's on that note, because I was going to ask you about this later, but you already just brought it up. And you've done many, many cool things. You did what? Grinding skateboards.
Grind incorporated the clothing line and skateboard, yes.
And you, Calvin Klein.
Was the vice president of Calvin Klein.
You manage a bunch of awesome bands.
Thank you.
Dirty Heads being one of them.
Little humble brag.
The best
Yeah,
one.
I like that.
But on top of that, you also worked for Hustler magazine. And excuse me if I'm wrong,
True
correct
story.
me. Wasn't your job something along the lines of they would send you out to weird sex clubs and your job was to go there, partake in everything they do there, and then write an article on it?
Yeah, close. My first job was I had a friend that got assigned, he worked there, and he got assigned this job to go to the swingers club and spectate and just see whatever he saw and then write a story. But his wife wasn't really into him going. So he said, hey, how about you go? I'll split the money with you and I'll write the story. And I said, great. And he gave me a tape recorder. And I went and I saw all this stuff and I started trying to talk into the tape recorder and I can't do it. I can't just blindly sit and spill it out. So I wrote these. I started on recipe cards and I wrote a big stack about this thick, about 3,000 words on recipe cards. And he looked at him and he goes, holy fuck. He goes, other than the fact that you have no grammatical skills and you can't spell worth of shit, the story is great. Can I clean it up and hand it in? And he did. The editor asked to meet me and next thing you know, they're sending me to the porn convention with a pocket full of money and to truck stops. I rented a semi and picked up hookers.
That's what I remember. The lot lizard. You told me the word lot lizards.
Lot
for the
lizard.
first
We
time.
did lot
I love
lizards.
it.
We did. It was many years of craziness.
Lot lizard is a prostitute that lurks around truck stops, gets into trucks, and prostitutes. You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, now that you've said that to the listening audience, when you go into a truck stop, look on the door, and half of them will have the red circle with the line through it. It'll be a lizard there.
Wait, like the door of the truck?
No, the door of the truck stop, like when you're going into Flying J or something. Not usually Flying J's.
They're saying, we don't want no lot lizards here.
Right.
Oh, it's like a circle and a no lot
But
lizard.
let's be honest, that's why the truckers are stopping there. So I think
I
that
say
they
the
want lot lizards.
more lizards, the better.
I'm
I
not
thought you were
against it.
You know what
Yeah.
you should do? We should start our own truck stop, and we'll call it Geckos.
I love
Oh
it.
my God.
And we'll have all this cool shit. We'll have a strip club in each truck stop. And the strippers, and this is how you tell the good ones. The good ones will have more teeth than tattoos.
Oh.
Yeah, you pay by the tooth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you pay by the tooth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And when are we doing this?
Fuck.
What are
We
you
got a
guys
couple
doing after the show?
We got a couple more things. We got to release this record coming up, and we got a tour. After the tour,
All right.
we start Gecko's truck stops. So
I love it. I'm already seeing the merch.
right,
Yeah.
everybody look for Geckos. It's not a family environment. Do you know this thing the showers
not
that the truck stops have? We have young Asian girls in the showers that shower you while you.
Oh, come on. You've never
Right?
been cleaner.
Right.
We're putting people to work.
Yeah.
We're cleaning up the truck driving community as a whole. The economy is, I mean, this is just.
It's a lot of good ideas.
Triple win so far.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, I'm in. I'm in.
So-
I'm drawing a blank on his name, but I'm sure the coach for the Patriots will stop in, right?
Of course, Kraft, Robert
There you go.
Kraft.
There you go.
While
It was-
we're talking
yeah.
about prostitution and gnarly stuff, I want to thank our sponsors, by the way. I'm sure they'll be happy. We got
Yeah, you know
Koi
what?
CBD products.
Let's jump into it really quick. You
Yeah.
know, we got a couple awesome sponsors. This show is Feeling Good with Duddy. So with the sponsors are going to be things that make me feel good. And I'm going to start off first off with talking about Koi CBD. Great product, great company. I, no joke, use this every single morning. This dropper here is my go-to. I wake up. As a matter of fact, I want everyone right now to take a little dropper of this. And I dare you in 10 minutes to tell me you don't feel bad.
Okay.
Koi CBD, amazing product. It's great for pain. It's great for inflammation. But for me, I honestly, the best effect for me is it's like a natural mood enhancer. Every morning it takes a little edge off without making me tired, and that's how you want to start your day. KoiCBD.com. You go on right now. You pick up some products. You put in code DuddyB at checkout. You get 20% off.
What?
Just like that. You can't not do it. Okay, next.
Wait, I got a question.
Jesus,
Okay,
oh, wait a
okay.
minute.
Is the second thing you do in the morning is you lube your Johnson up with this koi oil and feed the geese?
No.
the geese. Like he's
also-
out back. Just
Yeah, feeding the geese, you know.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that. I never do that, Cheese.
Why don't you feed geese? You don't like geese?
You don't like geese.
He's got
Well-
something against geese.
PETA, call this guy. You don't like geese. Mm-hmm. He likes jellyfish, though.
I make jellyfish in the shower. Next, we also are brought to you by Sticky Vapes, another amazing company. We've done, made our own vape pens with this company for the dirty heads. Another product I use daily. I always have one of these in my pocket because you know what? I'm a busy guy. And you also know what? I like to smoke. But I can't be running around smelling like smoke, just blasting blunts out all day. We can here, though. Let's
Let's light one right now.
But Sticky Vapes, great product. StickyVape.com. Go check it out. And before we light one of these up, let's just talk about our last sponsor, Proper 12. One of my favorite drinks, whiskey. Okay? So, another thing that makes me feel great, whiskey. We got Proper 12. I tried this yesterday for the very first time. They came in, they brought us some of this. We tried it. No joke, this is delicious whiskey, and we're going to try some right now. Proper 12, check it out.
Pour it
as
up.
we check it out, and as we pour this, I just want to jump into a quick little, you know, what our show here is about.
Well, don't forget, none of this is possible without the fine folks at Reamp Studio
Look at this.
that are allowing us to say these awful things in this building. So I
I-
want to thank them.
I have Cheez on to be my guest, and he already is running the fucking show.
Look at that, too.
Well, I'm your manager too, and
Yeah,
I want
that
to
is
see this
true.
thing go past one episode, and they're already going to go, couldn't he get a better guest? But at least, you know, the sponsors will like me.
So on that note, Proper 12, thank you, and cheers, guys. Let's get this show
Cheers.
going.
There it is. Feed the geese.
Last time I was hanging out with Jake, he was in my basement doing mescaline.
Okay, that's partially true. It wasn't the last time I hung out with you. But that
That
was
did
one of
happen.
the, one of the
Sounded good,
earliest
though.
times. Yeah, no. One of the earliest times that I hung out with Cheez. I went on a trip with my brother to Cheez's house in Illinois, in Indiana. And yeah, I tried some mushrooms. What
It
was
was
it?
pills.
It
No,
was pills.
we bought some weed. And this was before
This was the greatest
weed
story.
was legal. And, you know, you'd go somewhere like, say, Indiana, and you went and got a bag of weed. It probably wasn't going to be that good. I mean, we're talking this was, what, 12, 15, 18 years ago maybe? I don't know. It was a long fucking
Between
time ago.
15 and
When I
16 years
think
ago.
chronic, I think Indiana. I
Yeah,
don't know what you're talking about, but
But I will say that this nice-ass fucking drug dealer brought us a bag of weed, and he's like, dude, I'm not going to lie to you. This weed's not that great. So
Honest drug
I
dealer.
threw in a couple mescaline pills.
Well, he said they were weed pills.
Oh, he said they were weed
They were
pills.
weed
That's
pills.
right. And then we started tripping, and Taylor or someone knew him and called, and he was like, oh, no, those weren't weed. Those were mescaline.
Those were mescaline.
That's right.
And John took 2.
oh, I was down. So John from the Dirty Heads, myself, and just another friend of ours, we were stuck in Cheez's basement. What happened was a bunch of Cheez's friends came over. a bunch of girls. And it
Strippers
was
from the local strip club. Keep
a
going.
party,
I'll narrate.
a bunch of lovely girls that were selling drugs, strippers from the local strip club. And they came, dude, and we were trapped downstairs. We so wanted to join the party, but our eyes were this big and we couldn't see our hands. And I remember I crawled up the stairs and like took a peek at the party, and Cheez was just pointing and laughing. And I crawled back into the dungeon with John, and we just...
One of my favorite trips. Those were the good old days.
And I won't go too much further into that story, but one of my favorite things from that story was John. So we all took these pills at the same exact time.
Which story with John?
The same story we're talking about, but I'm going to explain it. The mescaline.
But the one where...
Oh, no. That's also a good one. We all take it. We all take it.
Oh, there's cameras in here? I thought this was on the radio or something.
You don't see the cameras?
I didn't know what they were. I thought they were for security.
The CBD works. Cheez doesn't even see the camera.
No, so long story short, 4 or 5 of us, I think it was, we took these pills, and all of us, within 45 minutes, were feeling the effects of these pretty fucking hard, except for John. And he kept going, man, I'm not feeling anything. I think I'm going to take another one. And I remember I kept going, dude, we all took it, and we are feeling it. Those work.
I do remember
Just
this.
wait. It's gonna kick in for you. And he just kept doing it, and like 10 minutes later, he's like, I'm just gonna take another one, and he takes another one, and like 10 minutes after that, he goes, oh my God, I'm starting to feel it. And I said, yeah, that was the first one kicking in. Wait till that fucking second one kicks in. That guy was on a different planet. It was amazing. Okay, moving forward. Indiana, great place. Used to not have the best weed. Now it does.
I gotta say, continue this. This is better than what we were planning on. We were planning on talking about this. This is fun.
Some of the best times
This
of
is
my
gonna make
life.
people feel
Some
good.
of the best times of my life were
It is.
when we stayed at Jake's house all the time till we transitioned to. I bought the nicest house that was available in Kokomo, Indiana, for $340,000.
If you guys don't know about Kokomo, Indiana, look it up, because it is a special, special place, and it has a lot of strip clubs, a lot of pawn shops, and not a lot else. Check it out.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite places on the planet.
Yes, if you want to buy a ring for a stripper and then pawn it when she blows someone else, Kokomo's the town for you.
Remember-
Did we light this blunt?
Yeah, let's
No,
light
we
it up.
didn't.
Here, I got a blunt. Let's get
Kokomo
a light.
also, and this is weird, segregated. Is that still going on? Like, I remember one part. Oh, you know what? I fucking lighter thiefed you guys.
Jake just hit the lighter.
Out the gate.
No, it's
You know
not.
what?
It's not so much segregated. It's just backwards,
Yeah.
and it's a bunch of good old boys, a mentality type thing. You like the other end.
There was two
Yeah,
parts
that
of town.
Yeah, yeah,
And I've never seen that in my life.
it was funny because when I was a kid, after my mom died, my dad left me with his friend he had a wife and kids and family. Well, they were all black. So I lived in the black neighborhood. I was
Yes.
the only white kid at Carver Elementary School.
White, red-headed kid named Cheez.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't Cheez yet. I was,
you weren't
I
Cheez
was
yet.
Mike Brown. I had the ultimate white name. Mike Brown.
Brown.
White bread. Mike
Yeah.
Brown. So there you go.
Your last name is Brown. There's that. Mike White. Now that.
Without saying the name of the
I would have been
this
thrown out.
place,
I would have been thrown out.
You can still
Mike
say the
White,
name.
get out.
What I remember too of being so surprised there. Do you remember at the strip club we were at it,
Thank you.
and a couple black guys came in and sat down while we were there, and this was 18 years ago.
This is a true story.
This was a long time ago.
Well, it's
but
still
not
the
that
same way.
fucking long.
It is. This rule still
Yeah.
applies. I know where you're going with this.
And I won't say even the name of the place because I don't want to
Burn it
start
down.
anything. But the owner literally goes up to the guys next to us and he's like, "You guys can have one beer and then you have to leave."
Yeah.
And they fucking did. They had one beer and then they got up and fucking left. And I remember just being like, "What?
That was pretty fucked up.
This still fucking happens?" Like,
Yeah.
it was
And there was
insane.
and there is only country and rock and roll on the jukebox. No rap of any kind.
That's it.
That would have changed nowadays with the Billy Ray Cyrus rap song we just listened to in the other room.
He may have played it because it had Billy Ray, but I don't think he still would have played it because it had a black dude too.
He would have said to them, he said, "Listen, you can play the song once, and then you guys got to take the CD and leave." That's what would happen in that jukebox. But there's another story in Kokomo, Indiana, at the strip club. This is very different than what we planned on talking about today. But anyways, let the bodies hit the floor. Oh boy.
The first strip club we were talking about, the racist one, which we are not racist, by the way, and I was raised by a black family part of the time.
Last name's Brown.
Last name's Brown, and I wanted to be Shaft when I was a kid.
Duddy and I are Jews. All right, cool.
Yeah, we got all that out of the way.
All right, everyone feeling safe? Okay.
All right,
place?
yeah, because you got to be safe in today's climate.
That's right.
This is a safe zone.
That's nice to know that on the first episode we're going to be banned.
Yeah, we're going to be banned after the first episode. That'll be cool.
Yes.
So anyway, this other story that's about to happen now was at the B-rate strip club, which in any normal big city would be like a E-rated strip club. So go ahead, tell the story.
I'll go into this one because this story is close to my heart. This strip club was, I'm just gonna say the name. It's called Big Daddy's.
Big Daddy's.
And it was 2 stories, and the pole went all the way up to the fucking top. 2 stories, the pole. And these strippers were good. Like, they would go all the way up to the top, hang upside down. They're 2 stories up, hanging upside down, spinning around, doing all this shit. And I remember like, whoa, this is crazy.
Heavy metal guitar players of stripping. Like, they're
Totally.
doing acrobatics.
They were good at
This
it.
is before Pink. She did all this stuff. These strippers were doing it for real.
Yeah, Pink got all of this from them.
I'm pretty sure she did.
Very unoriginal.
Well, we're not going to get her on the show.
Yeah, it's not like you have the same agent as Pink, so
She's
don't worry
on
about
next
this.
week.
So I think you guys know where this is going. There's a stripper. She's up there, 2 stories up. She's hanging upside down.
God
She's
bless
doing her thing, and she fucking falls onto her head. And I'm no joking you.
True
She's
story.
Like
This is true.
convulsing on stage. I to this day think she fucking died. But this is what happened. Without skipping a beat, the music stopped. 2 or 3 guys ran on the stage, picked her up, ran her into the back. Another stripper came running out, and the DJ put on, "Let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor," and the whole place goes, "Woo!"
It was
and
awesome.
just kept partying like nothing fucking happened.
It was funny because the ambulance came and took her out the side
Ambulance.
door.
I
The
love
ambulance.
you, Cheez.
And nobody noticed.
No one fucking cared.
They didn't care.
No one gave a shit.
That's in that same night. In that same night, 2 ambulances. Jake, our buddy Jake, not this Jake. So if his wife is listening, this is not him. This is the bad Jake.
I didn't even know you yet, babe.
Whatever. Anyway, the other Jake is upstairs in the balcony having sex with a girl that he paid for it. So I think it was consensual.
Well, then it's,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it was for sure consensual.
long as
But
you
she
pay
had had a lot of drugs, and to the point where after the other girl fell from the 2nd story onto her head, the other girl that Jake was having sex with while that story was happening ended up going backstage and ODing,
Oh, my gosh.
and they had to call
I didn't know this.
the 2nd ambulance back, and it turns out, as they're taking her out, it's the same girl that Jake was feeding the pork snorkel to upstairs.
Oh, man. Well, that story got that wildly positive story up until that last dark turn. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Well, here's
No, I'm
well,
playing.
on
It's
this
still
one,
very positive.
and
She
it
was
is
paid.
very positive. She
discussed
made
that.
good money that night, and 2, she was okay.
But do we know if the first girl was okay? I think they fucking dropped her off in a cornfield and said, "Peace."
No, because it was a for sure paramedic came.
I like to think it's a WWE style strip. That's part of the act. The ambulance is on call. They own it. It's like a ladder match.
You'd like to think that.
I would love to think that.
Well,
That's what I'm gonna
yeah,
think.
but
Otherwise, we got
that's-
2 dead strippers, and that's not.
No, only one possibly, but one lived for sure.
And dancers.
And at
No
the
emails.
same exact fine establishment, Cheez, being such the kind man he is, he decided to buy me a lap dance. Well, this
Cheez.
girl,
Let
she
me give
comes
her.
over
Yeah,
that
let me
he
give her.
buys me this lap dance for. She comes over, and she has a scar from like the top of her head to the bottom of her fucking toes, right? Like a humongous line down her body scar. And she gives me a pretty fucking weird lap dance. I'm getting scar-faced pretty much. And I go, she leaves, and I'm like, "Geez, what happened to that girl?" And he goes, "Oh, she was born with her guts on the outside."
Yeah, they had to stuff
I
him back in.
remember this.
No belly button.
I remember that
So that's
story.
how she got the scar.
Yeah.
Daddy got a lap dance from Snoke. That's awesome.
And they had another girl that was a dwarf. They had a full array of shit there.
All right, I'll go out on a limb and say, I've seen some hot dwarfs in my day, where I'm like, that is an attractive. It's an attractive dwarf. Midge, what do you? Is that?
No, I think it's little person.
Yeah,
Little person.
yeah. I've seen some very hot little people.
But what's the difference?
for sure.
Okay, we all agree that.
That he's like, yeah, what are you, an idiot? Like, yeah,
we all agree that you call him little person for politically correctness.
Yes.
But for the other part, if somebody could write in and tell us what the difference is between a midget and a dwarf, I always wanted to know. And
there are differences.
I can never get a straight answer at Google.
No.
I have no idea.
Here,
You can't trust Google.
that's what I was saying.
You can't. So
Enough of that. Well, let's talk about something interesting.
let's talk about something. You know what? Let's get into something actual.
Yeah.
So, feeling good with Duddy. One thing we want to always talk about on this show at least one time is something that makes us feel good. And as this being doing this podcast right here, an accomplishment. Accomplishments make us feel good. And doing this right here today for me is an accomplishment. I had been thinking about doing this for a long, long time, and I didn't take any steps forward to make this happen. And then one day, I just looked up online, like ideas of starting a podcast. And I started wrapping my head around it, and I started putting some notes down. And that's it. And then the next fucking day, I looked at those notes, and I was like, nice. I started. I did that. That was an accomplishment. I fucking did that. That felt good. And that made me want to take the next steps. The next step, I was like, well, what would I really talk about? And I came up with a concept, and then I called my brother, and I asked him if he'd be down to do something like this. And he said, yeah, and I started taking these steps, and every day taking little steps, and each one of those steps was like an accomplishment. It was feeling good. And, you know, now I'm here at the end of that, all of that, years of thinking about it, not doing anything, and every time I thought about not doing anything, you feel fucking bad. You like almost hate yourself. You think, why are you not doing this when you know you can? And I started doing it. I took many little steps along the way. Each one felt like a fucking accomplishment. And now I'm here. We're doing it. It's an accomplishment, and it feels good.
You know what I do to feel good? And this is going to sound silly, but
What?
it's not what you think. Every morning before I get out of bed, and I'm still in that kind of, not sleepy, but dreamy kind of state, I take at least 5 minutes, maybe more, and I inventory everything in my life that makes me feel good. Now, and it can be as ridiculous as how soft my sheets are, to the fact that I'm very thankful that I have a roof over my head, and that I have a refrigerator that has food in it, and that all the things, and then I break it down into people in my life. And so right out of the gate, before I'm even out of bed, I've only focused on these great things and people in my life that I'm happy about. And so out of the gate, I'm in a great mood, and I'm focused on what I have, not what I don't have. I think that's where people fuck up a lot of times, is they're so focused on, I got to get this, I got to get that. Stop for a minute. Focus on what you do have. And if you're ever depressed, try this. If you're ever in like a bad mood, or you're going through a slight depression or something, go out and do something for somebody else, just for the fuck of it. It makes you feel good.
That's actually amazing. Yeah, that's something. I mean, if you do something for someone else for no reason, I mean, how could you feel bad about it?
Yeah.
That's a genius little easy thing. Anyone can go do
I
that
love
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
I think the idea too is you guys are talking about kind of just breaking things down, like into little mini. Here's the deal: the goal in life isn't to have lots of money. The goal in life isn't to have lots of cars, lots of houses. The goal is to be happy. It's just sometimes you think the car, the house, the money will bring you the happiness. Maybe you can look at your life right now and go, I'm already happy.
Well, those things.
I love that.
You know, those things. They do make you feel happy for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to bullshit you.
Oh,
and
course.
I felt bad as you were reading through that thing. I'm going, check, check, check.
No.
But I'll tell you what makes me happier than anything. Two things: my grandson and my dog. Mm-hmm. Those two things. And all the other shit, I can live in a fucking apartment, a one bedroom. Some of the wildest, best times I have were there. Back when we were doing the Kokomo shit, none of us had any money then. You know? Broke.
I
You
had
guys weren't even
zero
signed. You
money.
guys were getting like $150 a show. True story.
And then splitting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those stories we told at the beginning of the show was well before any of the success of the Dirty Heads. And
Yeah.
this was like,
well before.
Hold on.
yeah.
We had zero success.
Uh-oh,
at
she's
that
dropping things. What's going on?
I knocked over my water. I have water on the floor, so it doesn't cloud the sponsorship because the water people didn't pay. Fuck them.
Oh, look at that. And I guess to touch back on that too, having cars and having the houses and the money is awesome. It's if you're already a happy person and you're adding those things and you're just even happier.
Well,
you're triple winning. But I guess I'm saying it's like that's
You don't
not
need 'em.
in the core. That's not what you're happy because you're.
No.
I don't know. You're just a happy dude.
One thing Gene Simmons never said a lot of things that I really liked. I'm not a Gene Simmons fan. He's an arrogant prick.
Cross him off the list, not coming.
Yeah, well, he probably would come. He'd come just to punch me in the face.
If he could
Pink
make a
and-
buck out of
Pink and
it.
Simmons
Oh yeah,
off the list.
yeah. If he can figure a way to promote something, make $1, he'll be right. He'll
That'd
be
be
next.
his face though. It'd say
Yeah.
Kiss, and there'd be a Kiss refrigerator.
Oh, everything Kiss. But the one really cool, intelligent thing he told me was, the only thing that money does is makes you not have to worry about money. That's it. It doesn't make you happy. And all those things, for a split second, they will. I'm not going to bullshit you. You know, every kid listening that goes out and buys a new set of sneakers when they drop is fucking stoked until the next drop.
Or until
And then-
someone steps on them.
And but he's constantly chasing it. So, and it took me, I didn't even get a clue till I was in my 40s about people go, oh, you got to love yourself before you can love somebody else. I thought that's a bunch of bullshit. But until you're truly happy with yourself, you can't be happy. So if you're rich, poor, fat, thin, whatever, you got to be happy with you. Because if you're not, that's how you feel about yourself reflects on everything you do and every person you come in contact with.
I couldn't agree more. And
See it from a mile away.
Yeah.
And going right back around to where we started on this is accomplishments. You know what? You wanna feel proud about yourself and be happy with yourself and love yourself. Go do something that you want to do, but you're scared of fucking doing it. You're terrified and it's uncomfortable and you don't know if it's gonna work. Just start. Just start taking steps.
And you can be small.
Small.
Like the first thing you did when you said about the podcast thing you want to do was you looked it up.
Yeah.
Well, that right there was a step toward your goal.
Totally.
Because most of the time you go, I'm not even going to look it up because it's probably a ton of shit to do, and I don't want to
It's
do
a
it, and I don't have
huge
time.
thing.
I got to go on tour. I got to do a record, or whatever. And so right there, your brain sabotages you. But the mere fact that you even took the first step makes you more likely to take the next step, and it keeps building. And the more steps you take, the easier it gets.
It's because it's a good feeling. It makes you feel good. You took
Right.
that step. Oh my God, that feels good. You're on your way to being happy with yourself, loving yourself, being able to now spread that to other people. If there's things you want to do and you never even take one step to accomplish those, you're going to have like some hate for yourself inside because you know you're not doing it.
Well, it works backwards.
It
the
works
same
backwards. And now you're bummed on yourself. Guess
Yeah.
what? You're not going to go be super cool to everyone. You're going to go around kind of feeling a little bummed, probably being a little edgy, and that's just that's what's up.
Well, if you and most people are actually intelligent, they just don't use their intelligence. So if you choose not to do something, you know in your heart you chose not to do
I'm
that. So
You
choosing
cannot lie to
to not.
yourself
So-
in this world.
Right.
You can try all you want,
Well, it's-
but
that's
you're
the
laying in
bottom
bed
line.
and it's all in
It's
your
funny.
fucking
I
face.
always used to tell people it's okay to lie to other people, just never lie to yourself. I would tell my daughter that, but it's kind of true.
It is.
You can't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
You are yourself. You're sitting in your own head knowing that you're a bullshitter.
Yeah.
And it's a couple things people told me that simplify this whole thought process. One of the people told me something was Cheez. So Cheez once told me when I was in a band, Cheez managed my band, and I was in a struggling period where I didn't know if I wanted to continue on with it anymore. And I was having this talk with Cheez, and he told me the simplest thing, and you guys have all heard this probably. He's all, music, and the same thing as in life, like, music is not about the destination, it's about the journey. Meaning, if I'm sitting here obsessing over hoping that I get rich by writing a hit single one day, then get out of music right now. Because the chances are most 99.9% of bands never make the money off of it and they go get a job somewhere else. He said it's about the journey. If you're not enjoying playing music every day, if you're not enjoying being on tour, stop right now. Because the chances are you're never going to be a millionaire. And that's kind of life. Everything is about the journey. Enjoy today. If you're sitting here thinking about, God, I got to get a house or I got to get a car, and you're obsessing about it, you're missing the entire journey. You're concentrating on a destination that may never happen. So think, just enjoy the day. And I've never forgotten that. I've told 100 people that. And it made me make my decision, which I ended up stopping with music, but it wasn't the journey for me. And I so see that now.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, and I came up in bands too, and my whole goal, growing up in the 70s, you hear about the whiskey and the Roxy, the Roxy. So I wanted to play the Roxy. It was bigger than the whiskey. It was cooler. It was like, I want to play the Roxy. So, and that was one of the motivations for me playing in bands. So finally, one day I got to play the Roxy. And I got there, and, you could both have played the Roxy. It's, the stage is shitty. When they got the house lights on, there's fucking gum in the carpet and all. It's just a fucked up, dirty place. Now they bring the lights on, everything looks cool and awesome. But I got there and I was like, is this it? I wanted for all this? But what I didn't realize at the moment, because at that time I was like in my mid-20s, all the preparation to get to that point is what really counted. Mm-hmm. And so it took me another 15 years past that to realize that. By the time I could tell you that, I wish I would have known when I was your age. And you're one of the few people that listen. not like your fucking brother.
Daddy when you said that?
Because he just started listening
started listening
2 weeks ago, maybe.
And look,
podcast, bam.
And you know what? Taking steps, feeling good about yourself.
No, I'm very proud of both you guys. For those of you who don't know, I went to a guy that owned a record company's house, and he played me. he played me this band Capital I, because I was in the Korn camp and friends with all the Korn guys.
This is 15 years ago.
Oh, this is
20 years ago.
This is how we're meeting Cheez.
Yeah, this is actually 17 to 18 years ago. So he's playing me this stuff, and it wasn't. No disrespect to Capital I, you guys were really good and stuff, but it wasn't anything like Korn, or it wasn't something that I could passionately get into. So then he played me HB surround sound, and I was like, oh, these guys are pretty good. But still so much like Blink-182 at that moment that it's like, fuck, I want to do something different. And, I had worked with Kid Rock, and I remember meeting him at the Warped Tour, and, he had braided hair, and he's wearing a leather suit with no shirt. And I said, dude, what kind of music do you play? And he said, like heavy metal, hip hop with a little bit of country. And I was like, fuck, that sounds amazing. So as I'm listening to the HB surround sound, and I said, well, these guys are really good. They're amazing, but they're a lot like Blink. And he said, well, before you leave, I want you to listen to the drummer's Little Brothers band, which was a bongo player, acoustic guitar player that sang, and a rapper that sounded just like Eminem.
It was John and
Duddy B
Jared
and Jared.
Duddy.
And they were called the Dirty Heads. And they had played one show at that point. They played in the back room of a sushi place,
Mahi's.
Did you work there?
No.
I want to say,
but a friend.
Yeah, we knew somebody that worked there.
Jared and Duddy, John was the percussionist in HB Surround Sound, but we were kind of a punk band. There was no room for him, so we knew. So he went and joined my brother and my brother and Jared, and they literally recorded the demo that you're talking about in our friend's garage.
Wow.
Acoustic guitar, John on bongos, those two spitting.
And just so John doesn't have a fucking heart attack, it's the djembe is what he was playing there?
The djembe.
No bongos.
Oh, yeah. So.
Okay.
Sorry, John. After 16 years, I still haven't figured it out.
God.
But no, I heard that, and I was like, this is wacky. This is weird. This is different. I have a vision. And so I went I wanted to meet with the two guys, the two main guys, and then I met with John as well, and I was telling them, hey, I want to manage you guys, and they were laughing. They thought, like, what the fuck?
Well, do you remember how you introduced yourself to me?
No.
So we drive. We get a call from our friend James, and he's like, hey, I'm friends with this manager guy, and he wants to meet with you guys and talk to you. And we're like, yeah, whatever, but we had nothing else to do at the time, so we're like, cool, maybe we'll get a free lunch out of it or something. So we drive to Long Beach, and we go to his house, and like a young, pretty girl opens the door, and she's like, oh, he's in the shower, there's a pool table over there. Why don't you guys go ahead and just play some pool, he'll be out in a second. And we were playing pool, and all of a sudden, from behind, I get tackled out of nowhere by a completely naked man. He was butt naked, fresh out of the shower, and he tackled me. That's how we met. I had never met him before. The fact that that we made it through that, we can make it through anything.
That's true. We used to do, we stopped doing it, and we didn't stop doing it because of all the, I'm trying to stay politically correct here, but.
No, don't.
Oh, don't? Oh, all the liberal shit that, they're shaming you for everything. Remember when we hired crew guys, you talk about an HR fucking thing here. I'm going to admit it right on live TV. We'd make all the new crew guys that came in, they had to give me a hug naked. Like, these guys have hugged me naked many times. And that's the whole deal. Because, like, when we were on tour and we get to the hotel, first thing I do.
The original Kevin Spacey.
Is I rip off all my clothes. And I just start rifling phone calls. And so. What, am I supposed to say that?
No, I'm laughing. It's okay.
Okay,
I'll
probably get arrested.
No, you can't get it's. No,
right? No
never. One's pressing any charges.
Hey, I asked him, hey, come here and give me a hug, and they could have said no.
Absolutely, they didn't have to take the job.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't have held the job against them.
I would have.
I just wanted to hold my stuff against them.
This is, and look, was anyone? They're smiling if you're smiling when Cheez is hugging you naked.
Yeah.
That's a verbal contract.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, listen to my attorney here. So we're all good. He's a real life Jew. He can be an attorney.
That's right. All emails, send them to Reamp.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. Oh my God.
On the subject of us meeting, I just want to tell one more story.
No, we're good.
So now we've met, and we've hung out a couple times, not many fucking times, right? And he calls and he's like, you know what? I got a meeting for you guys at Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers wants to have a meeting with you guys. And
no, this was first. Before Warner Brothers was Universal.
It was Universal.
Jimmy
right.
Iovine and Steve Berman. The CEO of the whole company.
So nobody big.
Yeah.
No, nobody big. And Steve Berman, the guy that was the president of Interscope, that signed like Eminem and everybody big. But go ahead.
So one more shot.
I'm good. No shot for me.
Cheez has to be somewhere.
So
No shot for him.
to continue on with that story, he's got the meeting at Universal, and something was going on with his car. So he's like, "Can you just pick me up?" Oh yeah.
Oh no.
He goes, "Can you just pick me up and we'll head down?" And I'm like, "Okay." And at that time, like we said, we had no money, so I was literally giving my friend an eighth a week, and he was letting me borrow his old truck. That's how I had a car at the time. So I got it's a bench seat truck too. So me, Jared, and Cheez in a bench seat old shitty truck going to have a meeting at Universal, right? So if that's not funny enough.
Oh no, this wasn't the Universal one yet. This was going to meet with the biggest entertainment attorney on the planet.
You're making me sound like a total fucking liar.
No, but we were going to L.A.
Okay,
but there was another story, Jimmy. I mean, we'll get to that at a later date. That's a good one too.
So yes,
this is gonna be a 12-parter with Cheez.
No.
We're going somewhere very important with some very important.
It was very important.
And I pick Cheez up, and he jumps in the car, and I get about 2 to 3 blocks away from his house, and he goes, "Oh, you got to pull over." And I was like, "Oh, what'd you forget something?" And he goes, "Nope. I just shit my pants." I'm not fucking kidding you. So I pull over into a gas station. I pull over into a gas station that's right there, and he waddles his way in, and then he waddles his way back out, and he goes, "They don't have a bathroom."
No bathroom.
And he goes, you know what? He's like, I'm just going to use these paper towels right here.
You know those blue ones like you check your oil with and wash your windshield?
Yeah, he goes, I'm just going to take a bunch of these and I'm going to clean myself up. So he opens, the shotgun doors open and my car's parked, shotgun doors open, gas tank, and he's here and he has Jared stand over here. So he's kind of got this little
blocking.
He's got like a little block thing, and he's
like
got
his UFC fighter and you almost didn't make weight. They got the towel out.
Yeah,
Cheez wiping his ass.
Yeah. So he's got his pants at his ankles, and he's got a handful of shitty paper towels. And I do what any good Samaritan would do. I fucking pulled the car forward. So now he's just standing there in the middle of the gas station with pants at his ankles, dick out, handful of shitty paper towels, and I pull up 20 feet, so he's just standing there by himself, nothing blocking him. And now he has to waddle with his pants at his ankles and his shitty paper towels over the truck, and I just keep pulling up a little bit more. Oh, it's a beautiful day.
Just to let everybody know what a good guy I am, though, is I didn't abandon the paper towels and throw them on the ground and pull my pants up like most people would. I made sure that I put them in the proper trash receptacle and took care of shit.
He did.
So he's not a monster.
No, I'm not a monster. Yeah. Thank you.
With the judgment out there.
I think you'll retract that comment after I tell you what he did next.
Okay, and then, jury's out. He might be a monster still.
No bathroom at this gas station, right? So now he has done that, and he has jumped back in the car. Not very clean.
It's not an ideal situation. I won't bullshit you.
I'm like, you want to go home and change? He's like, nah, we're good. So we go, and we get there. And right when we get there, I'm like, you want to go into the bathroom and like wash your hands and stuff? He goes, no, watch this. And all the people come up that we're going to meet. He goes, hi, I'm Cheez. Hi, I'm Cheez. Hi. And he just starts shaking their hands while looking at us and smiling. And me and Jared were like, we love this guy. He's our manager.
You know what? In the vein of this show and keeping things positive, then I went to the restroom at this very fancy Century City law firm, and I went to the bathroom to shine myself up. Lo and behold, this place was so nice that they didn't have paper towels. They had regular towels.
Oh, nice. That's how you know it's good.
They're doing laundry.
Dude, they were totally doing laundry. And hot, warm claws. This was better than my house. So it was a great thing. We had an awesome time.
No, it's good.
I will say this. We were supposed to have a segment called Band Camp, but this whole segment's been Band Camp, so
hell yeah.
That'll come later. And the Purge, we've been purging this whole episode, so let's just keep it going with Cheez.
I can tell you a story. This is a good one that the host will probably not want told about him.
This isn't live. Go for it.
You can say everything you want. All I gotta do is cut it.
Yeah. Oh, you can't cut this. You guys back here in the editing room, do not cut this part out.
By the way, they all cheered when they heard Cheez shit his pants. By the way, the entire room started like cheering like a walk-off home run.
It wasn't straight like shitting my pants like an 5-year-old. It was, I sharted. I couldn't control it. It was liquid. I thought that I was farting, and my asshole tricked me.
Yeah, so please, with the judgment, it's a bit of a rooster tail, all right?
Yeah,
hang out in there.
It's not like I just I'm 3 and I lost control of my bowels.
Don't try and make it sound better.
Yeah, this is a grown man shitting himself, so don't judge him like he's a 3-year-old. This is a full-blown adult shitting his pants on the way to an important meeting.
Yeah, my son-in-law, I won't mention his name, but for all you who are listening that can connect some dots, my son-in-law, he's going to kill me.
It runs in the family.
No pun intended.
I'm so sorry.
K-Rock Acoustic Christmas.
They're not on Universal,
That's
by the
all
way.
I'm going to say. I'm just saying. There. I'm not going to say any more. You guys got to go online and dig deep. K-Rock Acoustic Christmas. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. And
you can't just say that.
I have to. He's my son-in-law and my client and one of my favorite people. I'll let him tell it. Just have him on here.
He's coming on. He's coming on.
And
He'll tell that.
My son-in-law.
He would tell.
I was there for that.
I'm going to let him tell that.
My son-in-law is Rome from Sublime with Rome, that same guy, and he ruined one of my favorite jokes. I used to always tell this joke. I'd say, hey, how do you tell when a Mexican becomes a Spaniard? And they go, I don't know when. I go, when he marries your daughter. Because, it's like, oh, he's not Mexican, he's Spanish.
No, jeez. Well, now we're in trouble.
Now I'm in trouble. But back to your brother. So I'm at this party. My business partner.
Spaniards love us, however.
Yeah, we love Spaniards and Mexicans,
Of course.
right?
Dude, your son-in-law. Come on.
Right. I'm not sure what he is yet, but he did one of those DNA tests, and he was like some super high percentage of Chinese. Fuck with him
He's
on
like,
that
my
too.
whole life's a lie?
Yeah.
Wait, Rome?
Rome. He's got a lot of Chinese in him.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Look at my grandson. He looks like a little Chinaman.
He does.
See?
He actually
There you
kind of
go.
does.
There you go. And he's
See, there you go. So anyway, back to this. We're getting sidetracked.
Chinaman. It's 1952 in here, everybody. Oh, yeah, no big deal. He's a little Chinaman. Yeah. Building railroads.
I say he looks like one. He's not one.
I'm just going to start utilizing all these things for the sponsors because they're never going to send us any more shit.
But
Yeah,
hearing this.
Yeah. So my partner, which for you all out there that have Google Henry T. Nicholas. That's my real life business partner. And we're at his 50th birthday party. And I don't usually drink, but when I do,
It's a lot.
it's a lot. And I'm out of control. So I'm standing there, and my good buddy Duddy, he had a lot to drink, and he was standing next to me, and I slipped my hand down the back of his pants, and he didn't flinch. So I kept going because I'm going to make him flinch. Finally, he doesn't flinch, so I get all the way to his ring. He's still not flinching. So I stuck my finger 2 knuckles deep.
Not 2 knuckles deep.
It was to there.
Don't add a knuckle.
One knuckle, 2 knuckles.
You barely
That much.
even got through the fucking atmosphere on that shit.
That's enough to get
That's
through the
enough,
atmosphere right
dude.
there.
That's
That's
enough.
right.
That.
That's
No.
enough. That's enough.
Atmospherical.
That's not very much.
Atmosphere.
That's maybe an inch.
Dude, you're
I'm telling
dipping
you.
into
I
the
would
ozone
say,
layer.
nah, there's no way
Here's
that
the
you
deal.
would even
I was
halfway past
either
the
in your ass or I was not. Okay, so anyway, we got that cleared up.
Did
So-
he have a boner? That's what I want to
No,
know. Because
no.
okay, well,
In
then
my defense, like he said, I had been drinking so much, I think I don't even realize it was happening.
Right.
And this was so long ago. This is back when I was wearing baggy pants and sagging down to halfway down my ass. So it was pretty easy.
He was sending me the yes signal. His pants were pretty far down.
and he's got a loose butt.
Yeah,
So they barely
he
knew
was very
someone was in
relaxed.
there.
He'd been drinking, so I basically finger blasted his asshole.
Wow.
True story.
It's not a blast would be an in out, in out, in out. That was just a one boom, and I went whoa, and you were out. And
Okay,
you never came
Feeling
back
good
in.
with Duddy.
Never
Mini
came back
blast,
in.
but here's.
This is making me feel bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. There's once again with all my stories. There's a fucking no thanks. I'm too
Put
high
it in
already.
Duddy's butt, or should I
No,
just put this?
may put it in
All
his
right,
butt.
let's get this story
Anyway.
over with.
Yeah. So there's a happy ending.
Cut this out in post, right?
So after I pull this, there was the craziest. His butthole smelled like good vagina.
Cheez is looking into the
Oh,
room. He's playing
no,
to the crowd
no,
now.
there's
He's
a crowd.
He's looking at the engineers. He's turned his back to
I'm
us.
sorry. There's a young lady here, and I just want to say
She's
for the
having the
record,
most fun of
hey,
anyone, by the
this
way.
could be offensive, so please, I'm telling you ahead of time. If you stay, this is on you. So anyway, I'm smelling, and I'm amazed, and I'm taking it to everybody. And
He went and shook everyone's
I,
hand at the party.
No, I didn't shake. I shook it with
He
a left
did worse.
hand.
He was shoving it in their nose.
I would put it in their nose, smell this, and they all think that I was in the bushes with some hot chick.
He stirred every drink at the party, guys.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, I went to Andy Hong, and he smelled. He thought it smelled so good, he opened his mouth, and I stuck my finger in his mouth, and he wrapped his lips around it, and it was hard for me to pull it out.
Feeling good with Duddy.
His mouth was tighter than Duddy's butthole.
Feeling good with Duddy.
Feeling good. So
With Duddy B of the
so
Dirty
there.
Heads.
So here's the thing. Okay, to wrap this up.
I
Okay.
don't like it.
Wrap this up. No. Go out, set small goals for yourself.
Dude, that's called a callback in the industry, everyone. That's a callback. Not a baby cheese.
Set small goals for yourself and accomplish them. As silly as it sounds, taking out the trash, cleaning up your room.
Becoming a better friend with Duddy B.
There you go.
As far in as you can go as a friend.
Whatever, So there you go.
Little things,
Where do we go
everybody.
from? I mean, that's it, right?
I mean, I don't know how anyone could feel any better.
If you guys here, I will leave this open to you. If you're ever doing this and you can't get any guests or last minute somebody cancels, I'll come in and I got.
Oh,
Dude,
we can do this.
I don't
all
even
day.
want any other
I haven't
guests.
even gotten into stories on Jake yet. I got some crazy shit on Jake.
What the hell did I do? I don't even
Oh,
remember.
dude. And stories about your mom. I remember.
My mom's crazy. She's
Their
awesome.
mom
She's the best.
climbed over me to really, and we'll tell this another time, but she climbed over me to attack Jared Watson. Like,
Wait, what?
She
I don't
wanted
think
to
I know that.
She wanted to beat Jared
Well,
up.
this was at a time where me and Jared thought it would be cool where every interview we did,
I
we would
remember
talk
this.
about fucking each other's moms.
Yes, I
and it was
remember
kind of
this.
like who can go the farthest. And I think it was something like someone asked me, like, what's the biggest venue you've ever played? And I said, inside Jared's mom's vagina. And then
And they're saying this on
I
radio.
totally remember
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And in like
Yes.
press, like Rolling Stone and shit, they're saying this stuff.
And then Jared, I wish I could remember what Jared's reply was, but it was something good but bad. And my mom, the next time she saw
read
him,
it online.
Yeah, she wanted to kill him.
She's a fiery Jewish lady. Okay.
She climbed over me like she first saw. She said hi to everybody. She's in a great mood. She looks over and she sees Jared, and she just immediately read.
Yeah.
And she fucking went at him and started like trying to slap him.
And Jared, Jared grew up at my house, like every day after school, first things at my house. So
Well, as she's
it's like she was attacking her own, son.
as she's trying to get to him, Jared is still yelling shit at her, just making her even more mad.
Oh shit.
And it was good.
And that was in the good old days.
Dude, so just so you guys understand how it is on the dirt, because I toured with the Dirty Heads for 9 months.
He was our
their
tour manager
for like a good 9 months, and you had every person who entered the tour bus, you had to tell them the first name of your mother.
Oh.
So that when mom jokes happen, we're using the actual
Oh yeah, they
name.
use your actual name.
It's not like your mom. You know,
Yeah.
it was like whatever your male. Betty was, we're making
You know
it very
what?
personal.
I know you were
And then
gonna.
it moved on to dads.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's come and completely fuck your show up. But you said something about one time at band camp segment, and you figure we just scratch it.
I think we should still do it.
I want to do it because I want to tell something right now.
Hold on.
Oh, and this one time at band camp,
Oh, that's
right.
cool. You guys are like legit. This is no bullshit.
Here, watch. We'll try to
Cheez.
do it.
You know
even
what that
perfect.
was?
What?
An accomplishment. And it
Oh.
felt fucking good.
All right.
Guess
You-
what song didn't exist 2 days ago? That little band camp number there. Accomplishments.
Yeah.
Dude, there you go.
See
Did
that?
you get clearances or are we getting sued?
We're sued.
Yeah, you guys
We're
are
fucked.
We're getting
You're
sued.
gonna be
Okay.
very busy
All right.
after this
Sue
episode.
us. Anyway, so on that, and it didn't hit me. This thing didn't hit me until you just said that. And I remember going back again. One of the funnest tours in my life was that very first Sublime Dirty Heads tour. We were in the shitty bus that smelled like urine. And I spent me and Rome spent most of our time riding on your bus, putting crew guys on our nice bus.
Bus was a non-stop fucking party. I mean, things have toned down so much, but man, back in the day,
Dude, that was
wow,
crazy.
we used to get at it.
Yeah, what's the buddy's name? The merch kid?
Well, there was a couple.
Which
so
one?
Tyler was running
Tyler.
merch when I
Not
first
Tyler.
started.
Tyler's pretty mellow.
Yeah, Tyler's. Who was after Tyler? I'm
What's
trying to
what's
think.
the one that wanted to beat up Jared?
Padilla.
Padilla.
Oh my God,
Ma-
Padilla.
Knuckle up.
Oh,
Padilla.
yeah, he wanted to fight Jared.
Well, I mean, Padilla, I grew up with.
Yeah.
And he's still to this day a great friend of mine.
Oh no, I love Padilla.
And we had him out to do merch with us. Yeah, and him and Jared. It was something lame too, because obviously they'd been drinking a lot that night. So that's when.
And
you
the
It was
merch
a late
guy-
night drunken argument in the bus. That's
Like,
No,
second-
it wasn't.
I thought it was in the bus.
No, so they went to a bar together, and then Padilla left and came back to the bus and left his sweater there or something. And then Jared was still there, and then Jared came back and didn't have Padilla's sweater. So he got
you
all
have to
pissed
fight.
off.
You have to fight at that
He got
point,
all
yeah.
pissed
Oh.
off, and he was out in the parking lot. Knuckle up, bro, knuckle up. And I'm trying to hold Padilla back because I mean no offense to him. I love him.
oh, Jared would have
Jared
killed
would
him.
have wiped the floor with him. Jared's twice his size, and Jared's a good
Jared
fighter.
and Jared likes to
I've fought
fight.
with
Yeah,
Jared
he's
many
a lanky,
times. He's a
scrappy
tough
guy.
fucking guy. And I'm not saying Padilla's not a tough guy. He is, but he's half the size. So two tough guys, one's twice the size. The twice the size guy's probably going to fucking win.
It's a weight
you know?
class issue.
It just wouldn't have been good either way.
It wouldn't have been good either way. So we obviously stopped that from happening.
I don't know if you guys still have it. The picture has to exist. I would make their tour, their set lists every night, and I would drop pictures. I'd draw little cartoons of what happened the night before. I drew a picture of Dustin Padilla knuckling
That's
up,
right.
getting
I
ready to
remember
fight
that.
Jared. And of course, this is the next day they walk out on stage to play their show, and right in front of Jared's mic, there it is, a picture I drew of Padilla, you know, and everyone's dying. Dustin Padilla was dying. I mean, they were friends 5 hours later, but it was fun times.
So sorry to interrupt.
No. So
yeah,
on
shit.
that same
Band camp
tour,
story.
on that same tour, so this is one time at band camp. We're on tour, and I'm on their bus, and I'm in the middle bunk. So for you who've never been on a tour bus, you've got this hallway, and on each side are floor-to-ceiling bunks, 3 high, 2 long, so a total of 12 bunks. So I'm in the back, by the back lounge, middle bunk, driver's side, okay? And I'm laying there, and I'm sleeping, and I'm half in and out of sleep, and my hand is laying outside the curtain. So the deal is on tour, if you're in your bunk and your curtain's pulled, no matter what, nobody can fuck with you. You know, it's just a safe zone. But my hand was sticking out of the curtain, so my hand was not safe. and I can hear these fucking retards like trying to whisper. But
Yeah, we're fucked after the
it's the only thing separating us is a fucking curtain, and I can hear right through it. So I can hear him going, "Put your dick in his hand." And they're giggling. It looks like you guys are giggling, but they're trying to giggle. Like, put your dick in his hand.
Get it hard for sure.
And I'm not moving my hand. You know, normal people would have gone, "Fuck that." You know, I'm like, okay, put your dick in my hand. Let's see what happens. So finally, I feel Jared's warm, soft penis in my hand. And I fucking lock down like a pair of vice grips. And he's trying to pull away. And he's pulling back, and he's just about to pull his dick off. And he's screaming, "Let go, let go." And I wasn't pulling on it. I kept my hand right where it was. He was the one pulling the other way. And so finally I let go. That's the end of this story.
The moral of the story is accomplishments. Don't stick your dick in Cheez's hand. And,
He wants it there.
What else?
That's it. Accomplishments and don't put your dick in
read a
Jesus-
book this week. Let's go with Don Miguel Ruiz.
This is a lot to ask for.
No, please try this.
Reading at this? Is this?
Read the audio book.
There you
Audio
go.
book.
Now we're talking.
Don Miguel Ruiz, this is a legit book called The 4 Agreements. Start with that book. That in itself will be the first step to changing your life.
Yep.
And I want everybody to know that look back at this. All the funny parts were real and funny, and all the serious parts were real and serious. So we're not like fucking around. And I hope people are smart enough to get that, and they just don't write it off and go, "Oh, these guys are fucking lunatics."
No, I think people are smarter than that. I would like to believe that.
I hope so too, especially this crowd.
And on top of and to end the show here, on top of something that, to go back on something you said, not only read that book, go do something fucking nice for someone.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
yes.
Do that today.
Oh, yeah, dude, that makes you feel the best.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on in your life, if you do something nice for somebody else, it just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
No, I do that.
Right on.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you guys so much.